Hey, what's going on, tech enthusiasts? BooHD here, and Alcatel was generous enough to send me their brand new Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3 smartphone to show off to you guys before it's officially available. Now, this is the press unit, and it comes in this super nice packaging with this little slide to unlock key here. And this device actually might be the budget smartphone to beat, as it costs $249 off contract. It'll be available on May 21st, and it's got a lot of awesome specs and just an all-around great package. So I'm excited to get inside this box and see what it's all about. Alright, so this is the box containing the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3, and I must say, Alcatel went above and beyond with the presentation of this device. We have a slide to unlock passcode here, and then we can lift off the top lid, which is held together with magnets. No need to get dirty and slice anything open, this thing is child-proof. Underneath that top flap, we have a message that says Unlock Unexpected, and below that is a flap that says Unlock Loud, which underneath it says Dual Front-Facing Speakers featuring JBL audio. Hell yeah, front-facing speakers, one of the many things I love about this device, and I think it deserves a thumbs up. The next flap reads Unlock Bright, which inside that flap we have a picture of the OneTouch Idol 3, and it says 5.5-inch Full HD Technicolor Enhanced Display. In the middle we have Unlock Moments, and this flap highlights the 13-megapixel camera with a Sony IMX214 sensor. And now we're at the heart of the box, and this is where we have the accessories and the phone itself sitting on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, we have several more spec details we went over, including a detail about the reversible user interface, but underneath this flap, we have all the accessories. So we have a USB thumb drive, which I presume holds some press info and various details about the OneTouch Idol 3. There was a special place for this thumb drive, but it got displaced in the box. No worries there. We also have a standard micro USB charging cable, once again, pretty standard, and it will be used to charge the device. There's some JBL certified earphones included with removable tips, and these aren't your average inbox earphones. They're JBL certified and they should sound pretty good, although I haven't actually used them yet. There's also a US wall wart used in conjunction with the micro USB charging cable to charge your device, and then last but certainly not least is a SIM card ejector tool. The very last item is of course the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3 sitting off to the right, tucked away in its own little compartment. Now this is a very solid feeling device. It doesn't feel like a budget smartphone. It feels very thin, fairly compact and lightweight, and just very minimal. What can I say? I like simplicity. If we take a look around the device, we have a power sleep button on the left-hand side above the micro SIM card slot, as well as a micro SD card slot. Yes, this thing does have expandable storage, which is awesome. There's a volume rocker on the right-hand side. There's a 3.5mm headphone jack on the top of this device with a micro USB charging port on the bottom. Now the front gets interesting as we have a stereo speaker grill up top above the 8-megapixel front-facing camera sensor, and above the 5.5-inch 1080p IPS LCD display. There's also another speaker grill on the bottom, so once again, yes, this guy does have front-facing stereo speakers. On the back, we have a 13-megapixel Sony IMX214 camera sensor with LED flash. There is an Idol and Alcatel OneTouch branding here plastered on the non-removable matted plastic back cover. It is plastic, but it doesn't feel too bad. It feels like a very, very soft sandpaper, if that makes sense. There is some texture to it, but not that much. So one of the greatest things about this device is that it runs stock Android 5.0.2 out of the box. And Alcatel doesn't really change much aesthetically about it at all, besides the icons. The icons are square with rounded edges, but this is Android, so if you don't like that look, then go ahead and change it. You can go ahead and slap on the Google Now launcher if you want. But the OS runs pretty well thanks to the Snapdragon 615 octa-core processor with 2GB of RAM. I haven't noticed any lag or stuttering based off the short time I've used this device. Now the display looks really sharp. It's a 1080p panel with, and I quote, vivid cinematic color with Technicolor color enhanced technology. Viewing angles, brightness, it all looks really solid, and it certainly is usable. The speakers, though, are among the best I've heard on any smartphone, budget or not. I mean, they're front-facing stereo speakers, so the sound is directed directly towards your face and your ears, of course. And the equalizer that JBL uses and Alcatel has on here is actually pretty good. I can actually enjoy listening to music on this device, which is something I can't really do on a lot of other smartphones. Actually, most smartphones since they don't have front-facing stereo speakers. I will also note that these speakers can get pretty darn loud. Now, one little trick Alcatel has set up on this device is its reversible functionality. So say you're getting a phone call, you can pick it up and it'll automatically adjust itself so that the top speaker is the call speaker and the microphone on the bottom of the device becomes the speaker microphone. It's a little bit hard to explain in words, but basically if you pick up your phone to answer a phone call, no matter which orientation it's in, you'll be able to talk and hear the person you're talking with. Now, if we switch gears completely and take a look at the camera, the 13 megapixel Sony IMX214 camera sensor with an f2.0 aperture does a very solid job at capturing some pretty detailed images. As you can see here, it captures a pretty good amount of detail. I mean, several of the pictures I snapped were as the sun was going down, so the lighting wasn't optimal, but pictures were colorful and clear for the most part. In low light scenarios, this camera sensor does not do a very good job at all, and the image processing that Alcatel has on here just doesn't really do well in low light. So just don't take low light pictures with this camera. The front-facing camera sensor, though, is an 8 megapixel camera sensor, which is actually one of the higher megapixel front-facing camera sensors. And, you know, megapixels aren't everything, but for a front-facing camera sensor, it does take some pretty good selfies. From what I can gather from this camera sensor is that it can take photos with a good enough quality for me to share with people. Is it one of the best out there? No, but you do get what you pay for. And then in terms of the battery life of the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3, the phone packs a 2910 mAh battery. I haven't actually tested the battery life in detail, but it is a fairly large battery, and the standby time is pretty good just by using the device on and off here and there. I don't feel comfortable guaranteeing the battery life though right now. I just want to point that out because I haven't tested it in detail. I would like to test it out further over the course of the next couple of weeks. But, you know, based off first impressions, it does seem to be pretty good. And I will definitely update you guys on Twitter or in my full review about the battery life, once I have more time to actually test it. So the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3 smartphone might just be the budget smartphone to beat, as it costs $249 off contract, which for that price range, I think it's absolutely worth it. I mean, if $300 is your budget cap, then I think this is the phone you're going to want to pick up. The only other smartphone that comes to my mind when I think of budget smartphones is the OnePlus One, and I'm actually going to compare the OnePlus One with the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3 over on PhoneDog, so definitely stay tuned for that. That'll probably be coming in the next couple of weeks or so. But overall, I'm really actually enjoying the Alcatel OneTouch Idol 3. I hope they sell a good amount of these devices because I've really liked what this device offers, and I kind of want to see what Alcatel comes up with next. But let me know what you think of this device. If you guys plan on purchasing this device outright off contract for your GSM carrier, let me know down below in the comment. And if you guys are new to my channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Maybe give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. But with that said, as always, I'm BoHD. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.